Oh, hello, Crystal13. I think I remember you too. Yeah. Have you had your dinner? Alright. Hello to everyone who has joined us. Hi, Cup DM. Hello. You're eating your dinner and watching this? Okay. Be careful not to spill your food, yeah? And have you signed up? Have you signed up for our online lessons? Oh, well, I mean, you could go to our physical classes too. Hello. Yeah, I think I see a few familiar names. Have you all been joining in on the daily or near daily TikTok live sessions? Oh yeah, thank you. Right, you realized. Thank you very much. Yes, perceptive of you. That will go a long way in life. Who are you? Oh, I'm teacher Alvin, and I'm going to take you through situational writing. And I'll be also taking the classes for situational writing online. You can always join. The description, the details are there, right? As you can see on the screen. Okay, yeah. Hello to everyone who just joined. Oh, thank you for sharing, Jacinta. Is there Kahoot? No, not today. But my Kahoot will be the next session. That means 2 weeks time. Okay, so yeah, the 2 weeks time there will be a Kahoot, but not today. But it's okay. You can learn with or without Kahoot. Excuse me. Right. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Hope you all had your dinner or are having your dinner. So anyone going overseas during the holidays or anyone joining us from overseas? Although that'll be like strange, yeah. Why would you go overseas and join a TikTok live? I mean, you could, but yeah, strange. Unless you're bored stiff, you know. You're going Bangkok in December. Oh, nice. So are you going to do lots of shopping? Are you going to buy? Hey, that it'll be a good time to buy your prom dress or graduation night sort of attire. You know, in case your school has one. The school that I used to teach, they had a graduation night, and so the students get to dress up. Um, so yeah, you could always a good chance to go there and get a nice attire, which would be relatively affordable. You want a Labubu? Uh, I think yeah, you probably have to go to the Pop Mart there. I'm not sure how much cheaper it is. Certain things are not exactly cheaper, but you could find out. But so you want to know the prices of the stuff here first, okay? Yeah, I think I seen some in Central World. There's a Pop Mart store there. You can go there and search. The hotel I was at, I think was selling it for like about how much was it? 860 baht. I think that's about 30-ish dollars per box. Yeah, so you want to check the prices, know the prices before you go and buy. Okay, not everything is definitely cheaper there, although there's a good number of things that are cheaper there. It's a nice place. but it's a city, so it will still be rather hectic unless you know, go to the rural areas like Chao Yai or something. Okay, hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to go through situational writing. Am I going anywhere? Actually, I just came back from Bangkok not too long ago, yeah. So I'm done for the holidays. Yeah, but thanks for asking. That's why I can give you more information about Bangkok because I've seen it. And there was like crazy queues for at the Pop Mart. So you probably want to, but I think that was the weekend. So if you go on the weekdays, maybe the queue isn't that crazy. Yeah. Hi, Peter. I hope I got the tone correct. Oh, you're in creative writing 8th grader. Oh, nice. Which branch are you at? Oh, you all know Crystal? So you all like what, classmates or friends? Okay, hi everyone. No, okay. So just being friendly. Okay, that's nice. Okay, welcome. Okay, we'll be starting about 2 minutes ish or so. Oh, I realized my countdown timer is not showing. Okay, right, yeah. Okay. So we have another live tomorrow. That'll be for math, secondary math. Right. Today we're going to go through situational writing again, and if we have some time, we'll go through part of the continuous writing. Oh, hi, user 3543334186521. That's a mouthful, but yeah. You're from the same outlet. Oh, okay. Nice. So your teacher told you, or the center manager, the center staff told you about the live here? Hi, Rolex man. Oh my. I think disconnected. Okay. Should be up soon. Right, there we go. Okay, oh, Jurong Point outlet. Oh, nice. Far away. Oh, Sembawang. Okay. I just came from Sembawang. Was having some work there. Okay, right. Sengkang. Okay. Nice place. Woodlands. Oh, okay. Galaxy, is it? The Galaxy CC. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, whichever branch you're at, or whether you are not with us at the branch, you are welcome to stay and, well, learn something. Even if you're not in P6 next year, or even if you have already finished your exams this year and you just want to, show off everything that you learned, and you already got back for the P6s, they already got their results, right? Oh, okay. Welcome back, WL. Right. Okay, right. So it's 7 o'clock, right? So let's start with our lesson. Well, lesson, will we call this a lesson? But yeah, let's just go through the paper that we have. Well, if you have not downloaded it, you can go to our bio, right? Click on the link and download the paper, right? If you have, well, then yeah, we'll get started. Okay, so today we'll be going through again situational writing and question analysis for the continuous writing. Okay, assuming we have time for that. Right now, so for situational writing, right, we have this particular question here. Right now, so in this particular question, right, so there's this lady talking to this boy here, right? So Oliver is obviously, that's the name of this boy here. So this boy here is named Oliver, right? When does the job shadowing program organized by the Center for Youth start, right? So they're asking where is this? So then you might be wondering, what is a job shadowing program, right? So, well, don't panic. Well, just read on and find out. And so it goes on and say that it will start on 5th December and end on 23rd December. I'll be shadowing someone every day from 9 a.m. to noon, right? So you can therefore guess that basically this job shadowing is basically following someone, right, in their work, right, while they do their work. Like they say here, I'll be shadowing an editor, right, who works on children's storybook, right? So this will provide you with clues about what a job shadowing is, right? So that's if you don't know what it is. If you do know, then that's fine, okay, right? Yeah. I mean, why are you all spamming? What has happened such that it has led to emotional damage? Please be mindful and demure, okay? We are all nice people here. Oh, you've been damaged by shadow and light. Is that like, yin and yang? Are you like trying to do some, I don't know, I don't know, some secret move? Okay. Okay, right. So, oh well, we like to watch the language here, okay? This is a children friendly channel, so language please, okay? That's emotionally damaged by situational writing. Why? Situational writing is like the easiest component, or at least it's supposed to be easiest until well, you put things this year's P5, next year P6, they are changing the thing, right? So well, for some reason or other, they're making it harder lah. They will probably say otherwise, but yeah, it's harder. Okay, you're getting the short end of the stick, but yeah, things generally get harder over time. But anyway, that's that. So yeah, anyway, let's go back. Job shadowing. Compo was hard. Was it that hard? It was okay. It was something new, right? So something new. The only problem is that you just have to make sure that you wrote it as it was something new. So if you wrote a flashback, I hope you didn't, or if you did, it was a relevant one. That you did not mention that you did it before. If you mention that you did something before and therefore it's not due, well, good luck to you. Okay, but anyway, the results are out already. You got your AL scores, and that's all that matters, right? So in the end, that's all that matters. Or rather, let's put it another way, that is the end of the PSLE journey. You got your score, you are not your score, right? And whatever school you go to, you will learn something, right? And you will chart your own path. It is an experience that you grow from, right? And it will define who you are. Yes, I am sick. Thanks for asking. Okay, anyway, you wish to get AL3. You can never get AL3. AL3 is impossible because it's 4 subjects, so the minimum is a 4. Anyway, let's come back. Right, so now anyway, it will start on 5th December, right? So start on 5th December and ends on 23rd December. So this is 2 weeks, right? But we probably won't need that sort of information because they won't need you to do math here, right? So they won't need you to like ask like from 23rd to 5th, how many days is that? That sort of stuff is it? How many days that is, okay? Right? So anyway, and this job shadowing will take place for about 3 hours because it's from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, right? Now then after that, the lady says, I see, do you know who you'll be shadowing yet, right? So then the details, I'll be shadowing this an editor, right? So notice that it is an editor because there's no specific mention of any editor so far, right? And so, yeah, they're mentioning it for the first time. No, there is no Kahoot today. Oh, AL3 for English is very good, right? I mean, of course, some would say that, of course, depending on your standard, actually 3 is a good score, right? I mean, if you get 3 throughout for 4 subjects, you times 3 is 12. 12 is a very good, decent score, right? If I were to convert my T score, I think I also got about 12 or 13, right? Thereabouts when I was your age, right? So yeah, it's a good score, don't worry. AL5, well, doesn't matter, right? I mean, it is what it is. Understand that it is not, like I said, it doesn't define who you are, and you can always improve, right? No one says that will ever forever be the standard at which your English will be at. For context, right? I was never like A1 I never had A1 for English anyway. Okay, so yeah, it's about practicing, and then getting better, right? And that's about it. Okay, so don't worry. It's how much you want to improve, right? So it's the attitude that matters more than anything else. Okay, so 5 is a 5. It's not too bad either, right? But yeah, so now you know that it's probably not your best subject, and so you need to work harder on it. That's about it. Okay, so it's not the end all and be all of everything. Okay, right. Now, you got full marks for practice, but 10 marks for the exam. You wouldn't know how many marks you got for the PSLE, right? So, yeah, that's not possible to say. But I mean, and also depends on the questions. Some are harder than others, and of course, sometimes you might be lucky because you got a nicer examiner and blah blah blah. So there are many factors, right? So like I always tell my students last time that you know, um, uh, after you've submitted the paper, it is beyond you already, right? So whether you get a slightly stricter or slightly more lenient examiner is totally beyond you, right? That's why I always teach them life is unfair. But anyway, come, let's continue, right? So then after that, so the lady there says, that sounds exciting, right? And right, because you get to shadow this editor who works on children's storybooks, right? Then after which he says like, yes, it is, right? I'll be able to see firsthand how a book goes from the manuscript stage, right? So from the manuscript stage, that means the stage at which it comes as like a raw piece of work where it's not ready for publishing yet, right? So the editor will have to read through to make sure that like there's no grammar mistakes, that you know the wording is correct and things like that. Okay, and of course then to the final product, which is where they publish the book and then they send it to the various shops for sale, right? So yeah, I'm going to write to Aunt Rose, right, a letter to tell her about the program. Okay, now so now you know that it's going to write to Aunt Rose, right? And if you recall, which we'll get to there slightly later, this is your audience, right? Now, so someone asked what does shadow means, right? So I guess you just joined us not too long, right? So that I'll just repeat again, right? So you, what is job shadowing, right? So this job shadowing, it's a real thing, by the way. It's not like totally made up anything, but now internship is more like the norm rather than you know job shadowing. Actually there is actually, sorry, they do it for like medical students, like for those who finish their A levels and then they want to get a taste of what doing medicine is like. They have some job shadowing where they go and see a day in the life of a doctor, or maybe a few days in the life of a doctor, what they do, and to see whether you know is this really the thing for them, right? So yeah. Personally, I wouldn't encourage you to be a doctor. It's yeah, unless you are just you know really you really want to feel fulfillment by saving lives and so on and so forth. Otherwise, I wouldn't encourage it. But yeah, anyway, that's me. Okay, right. Anyway, right. So yeah, hi, Harmony or Janice. Maybe you could write your name there. I don't think I will be able to remember. I mean, I'm bad with names, in all honesty. So yeah, give me time. My students know I'm quite bad with names. But anyway, so yeah, let's come back to here. So if you were with me the last time, I told you before that in schools, or rather in MOE, the syllabus supposed to teach you, PAC, right? As strictly speaking, it's PACC, right? But the second C is usually of no concern to us. Because for the context of primary school, right, the second C, which is basically culture, right, is rather irrelevant because we are going to talk in terms of PSLE, right, it will be in the Singapore context. So you don't have to consider the culture of other countries. So let's say if you go to like Japan, right, like the culture of like bowing and things like that. So it's different, right? So you don't have to worry about context. Sorry, culture. Okay, but the first P you should know, which is in essence purpose, right? And then you have, yeah, P, I got it, audience, and you have context. And from the audience, right, in this case, we know it is Aunt Rose, right? Aunt Rose, from the title, is your aunt, right? And therefore, she is basically family, right? And this is where you sing Lido and Stitch or something, right? And then after that, because it's family, you will write informal, and informal email, right? Now, so what will happen is therefore, in informal emails, right, you need to recall that there are a few things that you will need, right? So the first thing is that you will need your how are you, right? I understand, of course, some schools, some teachers will say that you need to write a bit more, as an examiner marker, right, it's more than sufficient, right? You don't have to write anything more than that. Well, I mean, you could lah, but yeah, I would say it's not a good use of time. I mean, of course, it doesn't take up much time to write a few more words, but yeah, okay. Anyway, so how are you, right? You need the part where you greet someone, ask someone how they are, right? Then, of course, you need your contractions, right? You need your contractions where you have used at least one, right? At least like I'll, I'm, your, things like that, right? Then at the same time, you have your third point, which is in essence, what was that? Maybe it would be good to have an exclamation mark. Okay, right? So these are things you like to have. Okay, I'd like to thank you for the vote of confidence, Janice. You said Cher got 2.2K in so less time. Okay, I like to correct the English, there's so little time, okay? Because time is uncountable. Less is for something countable. Yeah, we don't offer foundation English. We only have standard English. So if you need foundation English, actually, I think most, if not all centers, probably don't offer that. If you want, you probably need to look for a private tutor, right? Yeah. In my experience, sorry to say, the in the in the tuition industry, generally you pay peanuts, you get monkeys lah. But yeah. Okay. Anyway, yes. Coming back. To be fair, it's probably in any other industry as well. But anyway, so yeah, we have that. So we know you're writing to your aunt, right? And if we were to look at the question, right? So we look back at the question here, right? So they already said very clearly, imagine you are Oliver, right? So you are the boy. Oliver is a boy. So even if you are a girl, you have to treat yourself as a boy, right? And of course, your pronouns has to be accurate, okay? And then at the same time, your job is to tell her that you will be taking part in the job shadowing program. Now, so this to tell here, this tell is your verb, right? And this verb is in essence your purpose, right? So we have the purpose here, which is given by this verb here, right? The telling. Then we have the audience, right? Which is given by this aunt here. Of course, it's also written on top here as well, right? And so, yeah. Then the context that we have here, well, is in essence the talk of this this job shadowing, right? The job shadowing program. Okay, right? So this is what you're going to talk to your aunt about, right? Or you're going to share with her about regarding this job shadowing. Okay, right? I mean, okay lah. You are busy clicking. Thank you for the likes. I teach you a hack. Okay, if you're on Android, right, you get something what we call an auto clicker, right? For iPhones, cannot, because you need to. I think you need to jailbreak your phone, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. I'm not an iPhone user, so I don't know, right? So if you're on Android, you can download auto clicker. The auto clicker can do the clicking for you, right? And you can get, well, many clicks at one time. Okay, so yeah, then you can save your energy clicking and focus on what's here, right? But anyway, yeah, sure. Okay, now anyway, yeah, auto clicker, yes. Then if you are expert enough, right, you can set up your auto clicker such that if you play games, right, they can click for you, and you can do your daily quest, assuming there's a certain pattern to it. Okay, but anyway, yeah. Now anyway, let's move on, right? So yeah, there's this job shadowing program they're going to talk about, right? So, and this portion here, this job shadowing program is in essence the context here. Okay, so your PACs are all covered except for the second C, which we generally don't talk about, which is culture. Okay, Microsoft, you have a Microsoft phone. There's no Microsoft phone. I mean, they had, then they stopped it. Okay, but yeah. You can hear the background noise. Okay, so that means that, give me a minute, let me try to reduce it. Okay, I hope it's better, but I'm sure it'll still be there. I thought it would have noise cancellation, this mic, but anyway, yeah. So anyway, let's look at the 6 points here. Yeah, I am at home. Okay, right, so as usual, there'll be 6 points. So even with the new syllabus, there'll be 6 points, right? And so here they ask you what the program is about, and we know that this is a job shadowing program. Who is the organizer? And we know that it was already mentioned that the organizer is in essence that Center for Youths, right? And so that is your answer, right? And then the duration. So the duration, you don't have to say it's 2 weeks long. You could, you wouldn't be penalized. But it's just safer to write the start date, which is 5th December to 23rd December, right? And so whom you'll be shadowing, there is no mention of a name, so you just mention the title, which is the editor, right? And then what you expect to learn, right? So what you expect to learn, if you recall, is the part about him going to learn about how this how the books goes from manuscript to the final product. And of course, he learns how the works of the editor as they work on editing the children's books, right? So yeah, okay. So in essence, generally everything will be found there. Now, but for your year, or the start of the new syllabus, which the 6th point, right? This one here is something you cannot find directly, right? From the passage, so you have to infer, right? And so how do you feel about this program is probably one way in which they can ask you. I mean, no one knows the exact questions, right? Because there's no papers yet. Your year will be the first year that you all will be getting these questions. But based on your primary 5 papers, you already know that it will be something that you have to infer, right? So yeah, so in this case, feelings could be one way, I suppose, right? And then the feelings could be, well, he would probably feel like, I don't know, excited, nervous, things like that, right? So yeah, you if it's anything along those lines, generally you're fine, right? Otherwise, you cannot be saying that he's upset to go because he sounds excited to go, right? So just be careful about the context in that sense, okay? Right. So without further ado, let me see. Yeah, okay, so for this one here, right, let me see. Right now, if you recall, there's generally this sentence at the end, right? Which I guess most of you would generally ignore because your teachers will ignore this and you all will naturally ignore this. I mean, understandable. I also ignore this for the most parts. Okay, but what I like to highlight to you in this particular session here is this, that you may reorder the point and sometimes you should reorder the points, right? Because if you don't reorder the points and if you follow this sequence, sometimes it can be a mess, right? Or sometimes you may have to end up using more words than you do, okay? And so it's best that you have to read through the thing, and then at times you probably need to reorder the points, okay? So we'll see what it means by this, right? So okay, let's get to the part where we write down the answer, okay? So let me bring up my text box. Okay, let's change the font to blue, and then let's type. All right, so let's look at the starting, right? So the starting, as usual, will be just dear aunt, and please remember, because this is the salutation, right? You must have capital A, right? So and then the name of the aunt is Aunt Rose. You could leave out the name Rose, that's fine, but you cannot leave out aunt. That will be rude. I think they'll probably still mark it correct, but it's just rude. Okay, but and more importantly, please remember to put your comma, right? So of course you could put hi, you could put hello, that'll be fine. But like I teach my students, let's just stick to dear, because it applies in both formal and informal writing, so you have one less thing to worry about. Okay, right? Now, so then let's move on, right? So, oh wait, hang on. I have to change this to, oops, wrong one. Oh, hang on. Is it 2? Right. Okay, right. So, yeah, then we move on to the opening, right? So in the intro, you will need your purpose, right? The intro is in essence reflecting the purpose. And so, like we mentioned just now, because this is informal, you want to start with the how are you, right? And then a question mark. And like I said, this would suffice. You could always write more, but like I said, there's no point, right? This is sufficient because all the examiner needs is to be able to verify that you know that this is informal, and he or she is just looking for clues to see that you know that this is informal. And by writing the part of how are you, it is a clear sign that you are aware that this is informal, because you will not be writing this for formal. Okay, and that's sufficient. Right, then we go on to the purpose, right, which is the main part of the intro. And so, yeah, I am writing, okay, because I wanted to tell you that the upcoming, right, March school holidays, right? So do take note that March has to be in capital M because it's a proper name, right? Will be, right, very special for me. Right, now you notice that firstly, right, we mentioned the verb here, the tell, because in the question, if you recall, it says there tell. So this is the important thing. We have to generally follow this. Okay, so to tell, right? Now you notice that also this is a bit long-winded, because typically we'll just jump straight in and say that, you know, it is going to be the job shadowing program straight away. But here, this plays a role in telling you about the excitement that you have, right? But of course, you can always choose to do away with it, and that's not a problem. Of course, if you want to show excitement, this is where the exclamation mark comes in, and you can put exclamation mark there, right? Because you already say it's very special, and so you can say that it is special by showing the exclamation mark. Or you could alternatively put the full stop here, and we will continue first, right? And so here I will say I will, and why is it special? So I will elaborate in the introduction here. You could of course choose to do it in the main body, not issue, right? I would be taking, right, or rather I will be taking part in a job shadowing program. And so if you recall, in the text, job shadowing has a hyphen, right? And so in this, we will also need to put a hyphen. Please be careful. If you leave out the hyphen, they will deduct, or rather be taken as like a spelling error, and so you'll be penalized. Okay, so yeah, I'll be taking part in a job shadowing program, right, organized by the Center for Youth. Stop. Right, so do take note that center will be RE. We are following British spelling because, well, we were a British colony, and more importantly, your exams, at least for secondary school and A levels, will be done by Cambridge, which is a British, right? So yeah, and you also would have noticed that this here is actually referring to not the first point, but point number 2, right? So let's just write here, organized by Youth Center for Youth, point number 2, right? So notice already that we are not following the order that is given to us, right? And it makes more sense that way, right? So let's move on to the next paragraph. Okay, right, and so they, yeah, you left out the T, is British, right? And then, well, you have to now tell us the details of the program, which is in essence, you know what the program is about, right? And so here, it'll be good to say, for example, right, I will tell you about this, the project, they call it project, program, right? So program. The program, right, runs from, so they quoted that this is actually 5th December, runs from 5th to 23rd, right, December. Now, since they didn't state the year, you don't have to state the year, right? And so we'll just leave it as it is, okay? Right, and so from here, it runs from this to this period, right? So we are answering, in essence, this is point number 3, right? Of course, if you want to write 2 weeks instead, like I said, it's not wrong. but we just want to stick to what is safer, right? It runs from 5th to 23rd December, right? And so this is the third point, right? So we put a full stop here, right? Of course, let's put the ER here, 23rd December 5th to 23rd, right? Yeah. Right, okay, and then during this period, right, then this is where I will describe what the job is like, and like, you know, things like what I'll be following, who I'll be shadowing, and so on and so forth, right? So here, participants, right, will let me see, they will get a chance to shadow. Well, maybe in order to show that we understand what shadow means, we just say follow, right? Someone, right? Get a chance to follow someone while he or she, because we don't know the gender of the editor, right? So while he or she does his or her work from, so now we write the time, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? Or noon, okay? And so then this happens like every day, so every day, right? So while he or she does his work from 9 to 12 p.m. every day, right? Then I put a comma here, and or rather allowing us to see for ourselves, right, what work is like. Okay, right? Then I guess that's that. So I'll move on to the next point. I mean, I could continue in the same paragraph, but that's fine. Yes, why upcoming? Oh yeah, it's not March, right? I'm blur. Yeah. Maybe not feeling well. It's supposed to be December. Yes. It's the December holidays. Why am I thinking of March? Am I thinking of the next holiday already? Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's December. Okay, brain not braining. Okay, anyway, yeah, thank you. Yes. So yeah, let's come back. So now we got to talk about, so let me see. We are talking about what the job is about, and so this is one here, right? So this is what they will do, right? And then I'll go on to the next point, which is point number 4, right? Whom I'll be shadowing, right? So as for me, right? Because just now we talked about participants in general, so now we just talk about me specifically, right? So as for me, comma, right, I will be shadowing, right, an editor, right? So notice it's an editor because we don't have a specific editor yet, right? Who works, okay, with children's books. Oh. Right? So yeah, you notice we'll just follow what's given there, right? And so again, to show the excitement, I shall put an exclamation mark here. Oh yeah, I forgot. This one here, I can change it to exclamation mark to show the excitement as well, right? So like we mentioned, there should be some exclamation marks, right? And here, instead of using I will, remember we're supposed to use contractions, right? So here we'll change it to I'll, right? To give it the, to give the examiner the clues to that, you know, that this is informal writing, right? You are writing, okay, chill. The video will be made available on the website. You can rewatch it again, okay? So don't worry, okay? The child is so rich. Why so rich? Oh, thank you for the 10K likes. Give your 2 hearts. Although I not Oppa, okay? I look like some Oppa Langga Lori. But anyway, yeah. That depends. In informal, you should be using. Okay. Informal, you cannot use. So it depends on the context. Okay. So I think your name is Melody, is it? Sorry, I cannot recall. I have to scroll quite up. Yeah. So if you can write your name there, that'll be better. I can't recall. I'm so sorry. Is it? It's not melody, right? Yeah, I think it's different. Harmony, harmony. Yes, 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 harmony. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and that's a very nice name, you know, harmony. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So then we have the exclamation mark, we have the contraction, right? Because this is informal, right? And then so I will. So you can always go out again here, right? But yeah, no, we don't have to always have it. I'll be able to see first 10, right? And so first 10 will have a hyphen. First 10, how a book goes from the manuscript phase or stage. They use stage, so we'll use stage to the final end product. Did they have a hyphen with the end product? No, so we will not have the hyphen there. Okay, so end product. Okay, so yeah. Again, of course, if you want to show excitement, you can have exclamation mark. But because we already have the exclamation mark up here, right? Does it zoom? Yeah, we have the. It is, yeah, we have the exclamation mark here already, so we won't need to have another one so soon, right? Anyway, we also have another one up here, right? And so yeah, it's enough. You don't have to always flood it with exclamation marks. Otherwise, the examiner will be like wondering, like, do you even know what proper punctuation is? I'm not writing for the record. I'm typing is faster. Okay, but yeah, sure, I will slow down. But like I said, don't worry, the video will be made available on our website. You can go there and take a look at it, right? Yeah, okay, right. So anyway, see for the end product, right? And then so here we already mentioned that this is in essence what you expect to learn and whom you'll be foreshadowing. So this will be points. Let me see, this will be 4 who will be shadowing editor, and what you expect to learn will be everything here. See how the book goes from manuscript to final product. So that's 4 and 5, right? So our content points, 5 there so far, and we need the 6th one. And the 6th one is about how you feel, right? So of course, how you feel could also be mentioned at the early part here, right? In the introduction about you feeling excited, you could just state it there already. That's not a problem, right? Because it will be quite normal. Okay, right? But yeah, here we shall therefore move on to the polite ending, because we haven't got to polite ending, and plus we will state point number 6 in the polite ending, since we have not stated it in the introduction. Okay, now oh, hi meow, are you meowing? Right. No, not yet sincerely, right? Because we still have to do the polite ending, right? So you must talk about the, you know, how you know, I hope to hear from you soon thingy, that, right? So that's the polite ending. And like I said, we haven't written down how we felt yet, and so that will be left in there. Okay, right? So yeah. So you can say, okay, so now I'll use another contraction. I'm excited, right? So this is the emotion, right? And 1 is enough, right? About the program, right? If you want, you can add on and can't, right? So another contraction, and can't wait for it to begin, right? And here, to show the excitement again, I shall re-emphasize with an exclamation mark. Okay, right? And then after that, yeah, you can so in this case here, you are not exactly hoping to get a reply from her, because if you think about the context, you are informing her to tell her what's happening, right? So it's not like you're expecting a reply from her. So here, it wouldn't be most natural to talk about, you know, thank you for your time and attention. Anyway, that's kind of formal, right? So here, instead of that, I will change it to something like, so the idea that I will update you about my experience, right? So I'll write to you, okay, again, right, soon, to tell you all about my first job, hyphen, shadowing experience. Okay, full stop. Yeah, full stop. Okay, so this, you notice that this is a different sort of polite ending because you need to adjust the polite ending to suit the context. So the polite ending is a very important thing because it tells the examiner whether you fully understand the context or not. Okay, so yeah, follow this one. Okay, and then after that, yes, then we'll go to what Crystal has mentioned, which is in essence the yours sincerely. Well, of course, because this is a informal writing, you could use cheers, you could use love, but I would prefer yours sincerely because it can be used for formal and informal, right? So less things to remember. Of course, the only thing is you have to spell it correctly, but then again, sincerely should be a word you should be able to spell. Okay, right. So anyway, right. So yours sincerely, and more importantly, don't forget the comma, right? So yours sincerely, comma, and then you have to write your name. Now, because this is an informal letter or email, can't recall. Is it email, letter? Letter, right? So you don't need your surname, and you shouldn't have your surname. Okay, because if you put your surname there, then the examiner will be confused, right? As to, you know, whether you are sure that this is a formal or informal piece of writing. Yeah, cheers, love, or yours sincerely, or either of these three will work, or any of these three will work. Okay, can. So that's this, and then point number 6, as I've mentioned here, it's here. Now, so you notice that, okay, number 1, the points do not follow in order. So you've got 2, then 3, then 1, then 4, 5, and 6, right? So when they ask you to reorder, you should reorder as and when needed, not always. What's with the upper two, okay? I don't like upper two. I am generally allergic to brain rot stuff, including faces from the toilets. Okay, it's like make you want to whack a mole. But anyway, so yeah, so the first thing is to take note that you shouldn't always follow the sequence. You have to think of when you plan out the writing, right, which is most natural for you or for the piece of writing, and you follow. As long as the 6 points are there, like in this case, 1, 2, or rather 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, the 6 content points are there, you are good, right? It does not have to follow any sequence. And the other thing is that do take note, for example, you notice I have a point in my intro, I have a point in my polite ending. Okay, there's no hard and fast rule to say that all must happen in the body, right? And a sub point in that is that the body does not have to be one paragraph, right? You should split it into 2 or more, but generally for situational writing, 2 will probably be more than enough. Okay, to show that you know how to break down the points properly. Okay, right? So yeah, questions, comments, contributions, other than upper two. It sounds like Malay, you know. It's like upper two, you know. So you go speak to your Malay friends, then you say to them upper two. Then you ask them kenapa, why? Okay, can. Right? I know it's Korean. I also don't like Korean, but anyway, yeah. Okay, come. So if there are no questions, right? Let's move on to the next part, right? Today we have a bit more time because I didn't spend too much time on the situational writing. So today we actually get to see the question and go through a bit more. Okay? Okay, right. Now, so where's my crown always drama when I ring? What talking you? Are you supposed to be the queen? Are you slay? Do you slay? Okay, anyway. Now, so let's look at this. This one, very standard, an honest act. You know what? At the rate that PSL is going, right, they're running out. Unless, okay, with your year, it's a good question whether they'll reset everything. You know, because they are probably running out of topics to test. So unless they throw a bomb at you all and it's like so something wrong, right? At some point in time, it will be an honest act, a brave act, something that's very simple that you have probably done in even primary 3 or 4, but probably worded differently. Okay. But yeah, like the school that I taught in previously, also we already had like something new in the primary 5 practice questions. Okay, but if their teacher did not practice that, then too bad for them lah. Okay, anyway, yeah. So honest act. Oh, why you got what? Number 2, number 3, number 1. Oh, the number of likes, is it? Oh, thank you for the 14K. Okay, now heart. I give you one more heart. Okay, come right. So honest act, right? So for this is like what we mentioned the last time. This is the one where you have the adjective plus the noun, right? And so the adjective is the one that's important. And in this case, it's something that you're familiar with, which is honest, right? So the idea of being honest, being truthful, okay? Now, so this should be familiar to all of you, so I don't really need to go into so much detail, but right, of course, being honest is being truthful, right? Not lying, right? Okay, so yeah, this is the kind where you have the adjective describing the noun, and the noun here is the act, and the act is what something that you done, some action, right? Some event that took place, right? And so you just have to show that it is honest, right? So like I said before, if you don't know that what to do, right? You can refer to these two bulleted points here, right? And they will be able to guide you as to how to answer the question. If you follow or answer these two bullet points, you will not fail. Then again, how well you do will depend on your ability to write. Okay, so yeah. So what was the honest act, and why was the act honest, right? So that's the two questions, right? Or the other better question that could be asked is, how was the honest act carried out, right? So when you have, why was this act honest, this is a good chance, right, for you to use a dilemma, right? But of course, depending on the context, you may not have to, right? For example, right? For example, okay, so this is important, yeah? So for example, let's look at the first picture. Now, if let's say the scenario here is this, maybe I can go to this page here. Okay, right? The last page there, right? Now, so we list down two scenarios. So scenario number one, right, where you found the wallet. Okay, wait, let me redo this. You actually see wallet, but no one else. Okay, and then we have the second scenario here, right? A second scenario where you see wallet falling out from I don't know, a boy's bag or something, or pocket or whatever it may be. Okay, now, yes, I know Shong Shong wrote, take the wallet, take it. Then the plot twist is take it and then return it, right? I know you good boy or good girl or whatever, right? Now, so you look at scenario one here. You see the wallet, but there's no one else around. Or number two here, you see the wallet falling out from the boy's bag. That means the person, the owner, is still there. Now, can you all tell me, of the two, which one or two here, right, would best have, or rather, would a dilemma best fit into? Is it one or two? Oh, interesting. Someone said two. And we have one, okay. Okay, right. Yeah, it's gonna be one, right? Why? Can anyone tell me why? Well, of course, it'll be a very long thing to type, but yeah, why is one, right? This is going to be a more natural thing to have. This is more dilemma friendly, right? As opposed to this is less dilemma friendly. I mean, you could still write a dilemma, not saying that you cannot, but it probably makes more sense that scenario one here, a dilemma is more applicable. Why? Okay, right. So yeah, the person is not there. Good, right? And so therefore, there's the temptation to want to take the money and use it to buy, I don't know what, buy labubu or apa tu or kenapa or nasi lemak or whatever, right? So then you can, yes, then you will fight the temptation, right? Then you have this voice talk here, that voice talk here, and then after all of a sudden you see your labubus or your labu's face, and then you'll be like stunned, like vegetable, right? Then your mother say, boy girl then if not then you remember, maybe you remember your teacher's face. Your teacher say, I call police. Then you remember, okay, I shouldn't be stealing things, I should return it. Then you must show an honest act, right? So in this scenario 1, it's definitely more dilemma friendly, right? In scenario 2, right? In scenario 2 here, you saw the wallet falling out from the boy's bag, right? The most natural instinct, I think, for the most of us will be to shout, hey, excuse me, your wallet has fallen out from your bag, right? It will be so strange if at this point in time, you have a dilemma, and then you try to recall what Labubu says to you, and then you remember what Upper Two says to you, and then you'll be like Skibidi, and then you'll be like, I must be mindful and demure because I am queen and I slay, and so therefore I should return the wallet, right? So that will be so strange, okay? So this, I mean, it's possible because technically speaking, a dilemma is like, doesn't take too long, right? It's not like a 1 hour thing, right? And yeah, so it'll be stranger to have a dilemma here. Not to say that you cannot, but it's quite strange. If you have a dilemma, it's going to be a very short one, right? And so definitely in this scenario, it is more dilemma friendly, right? So you see, right? Are we back up? Okay, right? Yeah, I don't know why it's lagging. It's maybe the Labubu got to it or something, you know. Then the Labubu sucked the blood out of the laptop or whatever. Yeah, or the Skibidi toilet came to life and then it's like Sadako, the laptop. Okay, anyway, now, so yeah, like I was saying, scenario 1 is definitely more dilemma friendly, right? And so therefore, this is the place where you want to use a dilemma. Scenario 2, possible, but not exactly the best place to do it, right? So it really depends on how you write your story. Okay, now so of course in this particular case, this is an honest act, so the outcome is really more or less determined, right? You will definitely return the wallet. Okay, it's just along the way what sort of struggles you have, right? So in this particular case, you want to talk about the honest act. The more important thing is quite likely going to be the dilemma, right? Because this is where you show whether you are tilting between being honest and dishonest, right? And so then when you finally choose to be, you know, the good guy, right? Then you know, you do the right thing, which is the honest act, right? So that is the important part. So of course, the other way to do this, which is lesser done, which is in essence to talk about, you know, like Journey to the West, like 西游记 like that. You tell me the whole story of how you climb mountains and cross seas and rivers to go and find this owner and then return the wallet to this person. In theory, you could do that, but that's probably going to be a more difficult right than writing a dilemma. Okay, right. Let me see what rainbow or rainbow. My goodness, your PC crashing out. Yeah, my PC crashing out. You want to buy me a new one? My PC old, like me, old, right? How do you even cheat in Singapore? In theory, you can and people have, okay? Yeah, actually, when I was invigilating, there was this student who cheated, okay? So yeah, it happens. But of course, statistically, you are very likely to get caught, so don't bother, okay? So yeah. Anyway, it's just a score, right? If you are even that desperate to cheat, right, it's really telling you something, right? That means that you have made very bad decisions along the way to your PSLE. But technically speaking, if you are here for this live, you are wanting to learn, well, you shouldn't fall into the category, okay? Right, now anyway, yeah, I was from XMOE. I don't think it's just your mother that was smacked. Like if it was my child, probably like outright cane the child, half murder the child thing, you know, like of all the things, right? I rather you get a failing grade, but you do it honestly, right? That the value is definitely more important, right? And so then we have to go back and look, like I said, about your time management or how you view, how your priorities in life, right? Why is it that you have to prioritize your exams to such a low priority that you have to resort to cheating? Okay. Now, anyway, yeah. The other one that we're looking at here is of course a test paper, right? And so yes, like some of you have mentioned, there's this cheating, right? So the test paper scenario, it's either, right, either you cheat or you see friend cheating, right? And then you are having a dilemma whether to report. And of course, the honest thing is therefore to report, right? And you will notice that in this particular case, in both cases, a dilemma would be applicable, right? So here dilemma is fine, dilemma is fine, dilemma is fine. This one here, dilemma questionable, right? Okay. Now, so of course, it will be easier to write scenario 2, right? Because there's more things to write. Because if you are just going to write scenario 1, when you are done with your dilemma, you're in essence done with the whole story, right? And if your dilemma is not long enough, and in this particular case, we're talking about 2, maybe 3 paragraphs, right? Because otherwise, it will not make up a substantial portion of your writing. You are not going to do too well. Okay, so 2 is definitely a better way to a better idea to write, because it gives you more room, right? You could talk about, you know, your friend peering, explain why your teacher did not see it, and then you have your dilemma, and then before maybe you were still hesitating even after the dilemma, and blah blah blah. Or you could also decide to approach the friend after the paper, and then, you know, and then talk to him or her after the paper to find out the rationale for doing so, and then but still eventually you will report it to a teacher. So there's more ways to write this out, right? So 2 is definitely a better story. Oh, you're welcome, CD, right? Stop lagging, please. Am I lagging? Okay, if I'm lagging, I'm sorry. I can't help it. That one is my internet connection, but my internet connection should be fine. Oh, you're right. I'm not. Thank you. Right. So now, next one, last picture. Right. So we have this one here. So an honest act. You see, 2 people here. Right. So you only see the faces here. So of course we can't tell the gender. And in this kind of scenarios, the gender is not important. Okay. Right. Now, so but more importantly, what does this signal to you? So what do you think the third picture represents? Anyone? Come. Let's have some answers. What does the third picture represent? Yes, sir. Yeah. Are you like the pirate Shiver Me Timbers? Mixing with bread friends? Mixing with bread friends. How is mixing with bread friends going to be leading to an honest act? So, I mean, okay, let's look at this. Bad friends. So what is this bad friends about? So are you saying that, for example, your this bad friend decided to, I don't know, steal a wallet, or, you know, rob a shop, or whatever it may be, or cheat in the exam, and so therefore you want to report him, right? So it's a bit vague. What does this bad friend do? Okay, right. So you talk about betrayal, right? Now, so don't forget, this is not some drama from Korea or whatever. It's not about love drama or anything. But you must forget, you mustn't forget that at the end of the day, you must still talk about this honest act. So if you want to write drama about backstabbing and whatever have you not, right, it has to go back to being honest. So for example, maybe you were talking about you all decide to badmouth or backstab a friend, but then in the end you had a dilemma, and then you decided not to do so because that was the honest thing to do, that was the correct thing to do. Okay, and so yeah, and so you cannot betray. Even if your friends betray, you have to be the honest one, because don't forget, this is an honest act. Otherwise, it becomes some dishonest act or some betrayal. And then worse, you are not answering the question, you fail, right? So if you ask me, this third picture is actually the worst picture to use. Don't use this one, right? Of course, sometimes this kind of friendship picture is can be easier to use. But in this context, it will be difficult, right? Then, I mean, for some of you, if you get too carried away, you will focus on the drama. Wow, you never flamed me. No, it's not me, it's you. Wow, no, because you steal my labubu. I steal your laubu. What laububu? You scold my mother. What's wrong? Then you become too drama already. Then it's like, yeah, then you upper two. Then your teacher also upper two, upper ini, right? Then you will totally miss the point. And this story is about an honest act, not a drama or some betrayal, right? If you are good at that, then I suggest you join Media Corps, or maybe you can join Hollywood or something and be a director there, you know. Yeah, we have some famous Singaporean directors. I think recently got one, he won some prize, right? For this migrant worker. He's showing the difficulties of being a migrant worker or something like that. I think something like that. I just want it like only like today or a few days ago only, right? You can go and read that news, right? Or like I think got Mark Lee, your Lee Guo Huang also won something, or is it Jack Neo also? Your Liang Po Po and your boys to men or women or whatever, men or girl to woman or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, but from a perspective of creative writing, right, I would strongly advise against writing using this picture here. Okay, now just to be clear, yeah, just to be crystal clear, in the PSLE marking, right, we are not marking for most dramatic script. We are not marking for most wonderful plot twists in the writing. Okay, if you have, it adds to the interest value. That's fine, right? But if you don't, then yeah, it's not a big deal, right? It can be very simple, like if you go back to this story here, right? If you go back to this story, the story is in essence very simple. I found, maybe I use a different color, right? The story is in essence, I found a wallet, right? I had dilemma, right? I returned wallet. And that's it. Your story can, in essence, be summarized into these 3 sentences. And that's the story, right? And so, that's it. You don't have to have some award-winning script. There's no such thing. And don't forget, you only have about 15 minutes to write, right? So just focus on this, right? And keep the plot simple, and then how you bring the story to life, how you bring the characters to life, that's where we teach you the tools if you join our lessons, right? Like things like characterization, your different writing, varying of sentence structure, the different ways to write, and so on and so forth. Okay? Okay, so yeah, no, they are not going to give you 2 hours, okay, because it can be done in the same amount of time, and so it's meaningless. Give you more time, we expect more, and therefore the standard will be higher. So no, it's actually a bad idea. Okay, so yeah. Now, yeah, if you find that you have not enough time to write, what it probably implies is that you haven't got enough practice yet, right? So you get more practice, you get better at it. So in all honesty, right, well, last time when I was teaching in school, how I got better at writing was basically when my students write, I write as well. Okay, so when I give them 15 minutes to write, I also spend the 15 minutes writing with them. So at the same time, I have to walk around and check their work as well. So I also to show them that it can be done in 15 minutes. And of course, to tell myself that whatever skills I'm teaching them, I can also apply in the same period of time, right? So yeah, okay. So, okay, right. We have more or less come to the end of this session, right? I hope you have learned something useful and that you can apply in your writing and that you can do well in your upcoming tests and examinations. Anyone has any questions you'd like to ask? Otherwise, we'll call it a day. It's 8 o'clock already. Okay, so yeah, do join our next lesson. It will be tomorrow, secondary 2 math. You can always join in and then realize, you know, that things are only getting harder, right? Well, that's kind of expected. Alternatively, right, you would also be nice if you could join us and sign up for our lessons, right? English, math, science, creative writing. I'll be taking the creative writing classes. Okay, they'll be happening on Saturdays, 9:30 to 11 a.m. Okay, right? Otherwise, yeah, take care. See you all in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, in my lesson, there'll be Kahoot. Okay, so yeah. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if there's Kahoot. Okay, I didn't keep track. But yeah, okay, take care. Bye. Enjoy your holiday and your weekend or your week. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for coming for this lesson. See you.